I'm standing here with Pete Kahl. We're in the, what would you call this? Do you have a name for your facility? Big Nelly?
Big Nelly, yeah, that's good. No, it's just, this is the building where we breed all the animals, and up here is where the ball pythons are on the main level. Boa's in the basement, and then we have a little bit of rodent room upstairs. And
This is a pretty sophisticated facility. I've seen a lot of snake facilities, and you seem to have, you have radiant heating here. You have, I mean, this is the ultimate setup.
yeah, it's nice here on the property. We've been in basement of the house starting out, and then went into a warehouse at one point, had another facility, and it's nice to be able to, they say it's not really an ag use, but I disagree, and I think this needs to be out on agricultural land and have, you know, farm and.
Well, you're certainly in the farmlands, that's for sure here. Show us some of the good stuff you got. Show us the exciting stuff you got going on here, because I know you got some great stuff.
Here in the ballroom, these are all like hold back. Most of the stuff I'm trying to hold over in this area here, so stuff I know you like, the albino pieds.
Yeah, yeah, I have a few of these.
Group of them going from this year.
Now, what would make you decide to keep, say, this snake? Why this snake as opposed to? I'm sure you get rid of some of them.
This one was one I really liked because of its color. But no, I mean, just keep them. I mean, if they're, I love having them.
The pie, I mean, I love the albino piebalds. I think they're just exquisite. I mean, the coloring, and I love the yellow. I know my wife doesn't like them as much. She likes the darker ones, but I mean,
they're awesome.
And I like the ones that are, you know, equi white and equi patterned. That's it. Yeah, that seems to have a little bit more
like the
dramaticness. Yeah. So will you preferentially breed something like this to try to bring out more of that orange?
Sure, sure, why not? And then the Lavender Pied, here's one of those. They're pretty too. Come here, girl.
Now the interesting thing about the Lavender Pied is that the lavender is not in the white portion, it's in this portion, right?
Right, and that'll start to get lavender.
This will stay bright white, correct?
Right. All of them do, and I like the Lavender Pieds, but I also like the regular Pieds. I like the Candy Pied even better than these two. I have some of those in the back that are from this year that are big enough. Actually going to stick them in breeding here.
Wow.
In the next few days. The other Lavender Pied that's here, he's just got the head, his whole body's white. He just ended up with his.
So that's a real high white one.
Yeah.
Is that like a paradox?
No, I think that's poop.
Oh.
I got a couple paradoxes in here though.
Do you really? Pieds? Yeah.
Yes, but there's
and those just spontaneously pop up.
Right there. That's a candy, cinnamon, or champagne. Look at this one.
Oh wow! Look at that. That
candy
is
and paradox candy, cinnamon.
Now, a lot of people have different, you know, theories as to what causes this. What do you think it is?
Random, just pops up.
Just think it's just genetic.
It doesn't.
And it's not.
I'm bad like that. I'll leave something open, and Chris will come in the next day and go, "Dude, you left the tub open."
And this is not genetic. In other words, if you bred this, you're not going to get a paradox from this.
I doubt it. Yeah. But you never know. I mean, this one's.
It's a wild looking snake.
This one, look at the head. It's split, like perfectly. One side is almost normal.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, and the eyeballs are.
So some people had suggested that maybe it's two different snakes.
Eclipse, and Mike Wilbank's working with it. I don't know if it's going to end up being anything. Probably not, but it's a male and he's ready. Actually, let's take a little look at him.
This guy's ready to breed?
He might be producing sperm now, and I throw him in the female. Nope, he's dry. He's dry.
Now, what would tell you if something came out of there?
Yeah, if it's had like, well, we'll go back here. I'll show you.
This is a wild snake. Pretty cool.
Oh, those are all just different pieds and
what would this be?
Super pastel ghost pied.
That's a nice. So that's
it's some beautiful. Look at these Anchies. Some of them this year. That one's sick. Some really nice ones. And this one is.
This is an Enchi pied.
Right, and a lot of them are low white, but. And I didn't like that they were so low white, but then this year we started.
That's a beautiful one, yeah.
Some of these are disgusting. Look at that. Unbelievable, man.
Wow. And that's just Enchi pied.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And amazing. I mean, I've never seen that. And then we got like a bunch this year, and I'm hanging on to them. I got like that one. I got that one.
That's beautiful also, yeah.
That one up there. That one.
Oh, that's really wild.
That's a male.
That's only Enchi pied?
Yeah.
It looks like it's got like almost like the hypo gene in there, yeah.
It's not. It's
Look at that
To sell
orange.
Something like that, what would it go for?
I wouldn't sell it. I mean, I guess
It's a
I
keeper.
would, but
It's a keeper.
it's like,
What's the price range on that, something like that?
I don't know, probably like 10 grand or something. I mean,
Yeah,
I just
that's
wouldn't
it.
even,
Beautiful.
because you can take, I mean, most of the Enchi Pieds, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen them before, it's like, you know, all of them are turning out like, I mean, nice color some of them have.
But not so much white in there.
There's no white on them. And I'm like, I was ready to give up on them.
Why do you think that is? Was that just bad luck, you think?
No, that's the way it happens with Enchis. They suck the amount of white out. It's like people were doing it to try to actually bring pattern into things like the lesser pied or whatever. We did it with that and got the head to
come out.
right. It brings for some.
So this is a really a great
right for
rarity,
breeding, man. And
I mean,
that's
a
little
rarity
boy,
because
you know?
I mean
Like,
this
if
is
it
a
was
lot of white.
female, it wouldn't be that valuable to me. But
Why is
male,
that? Why a male more
so I
valuable?
can hose him to 10 girls. I can get 10 girls pregnant with him.
Gotcha.
And get that gene spread. Spread the gene.
Spread the
There's
genes.
a couple more, I think. Now, see, that's more like a normal one.
Yes.
It's nice looking.
But that's also pied, Enchi pied?
Yeah, but it just doesn't have any white on it. I'd want to spread that gene on that one. So an Enchi Pied, they're like $1,500.
Yeah.
2 grand or whatever. But these
Right.
couple that I got that are like this, I mean, they're what I need.
What would you like to mix the Enchi pied in with? What other?
I just like to produce more like that.
Just that.
I don't even care.
You don't even
about-
think you can make that better?
What are you gonna do?
I don't
Look
know.
at it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you get into a super Enchi, it's gonna screw it up.
It's gonna dilute it more.
Yep. The super Enchi is not, you know, it's gonna look not as good. It's really not.
So you think this? Sometimes you think that too many people are putting too many genes into some of these snakes and
Yeah,
diluting
yeah,
it down to nothing.
Yeah,
Basically,
when you see some of the animals, you get 4 genes in there.
5, 6 genes.
Right, and they a lot of them start looking alike.
This is a great little tutorial here because this is a special pied, or it looks like a special pied, but it's really not. Explain.
It's for lack of a better term right now, we're just calling them a golden pied. Look at these like pieds; they're amazing.
This is a golden pied that just happens to be an exquisite looking regular pied that
Right.
you've kind of isolated to a certain gene pool.
with ice, right? Exactly, and it's popping out and it's doing amazing things. Like this here
Now what is this?
is another one of the goldens. Now this one looks like it has pastel in it, but actually I'd have to check the parents. It looks like it in the head, but even if it does, it's amazing looking.
Well, what I love,
This one doesn't have anything else in it.
this is exquisite, but I love this one because
Yeah,
this one is the golden gene pied with the
Just
hypo
ghost,
gene, right?
Right, just
Just
the
hypo ghost.
gene. Like here's the regular.
I mean, look at the color of this
one.
thing.
It's a pastel ghost, and it's just not even.
It's not even close to this. This has got the golden,
Right.
the golden pied gene in it.
Yeah.
And you could just see, look at the oranges in this. It almost looks like there's like 10 other genes in
I didn't
there,
know what
you
to think when it was in the egg, and I cut the egg, and I'm like,
What is this?
I'm like looking at it in the egg, going, "Oh my God, what is that?"
I mean, this is just
And
exquisite.
it just keeps getting prettier. I
Even
mean,
the tail, look at that. It looks like Picasso just took a paintbrush and went psh, psh, psh,
I know.
amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And there's a couple. I mean, we produced quite a few this
And these
year.
are all your holdbacks too. These are guys that you're keeping and you're going to be breeding because they're so exquisite.
Yeah, I love these guys. There's
what's
a
that?
pastel with the gold line in it. It's
That's the pastel golden pied. And it's much lighter than this. Mm-hmm. I actually like the
I like the
hypogene.
hypogene,
Obviously,
yeah.
much harder to get that
Yeah.
in here because it's a recessive.
But there's a couple of the, now not all of them are as faded like that one is light. Look, like for instance, here's another pastel one. They vary in how they,
Oh, that's completely different looking,
Yeah.
that one.
yep,
That's just a pastel pied.
yep. And that's got the golden gene, but it's not as extreme. Like you can see some of the color in it.
Yeah, it doesn't have it all over the
Right,
place.
it came from that. Now I'm gonna have to see how this works genetically.
Do you think that it might be another gene that's actually in there doing something?
No, it's
Okay.
absolutely not. I have the parents that's produced all this.
So it's
They're in
polygenic
breeding now.
then.
So what I think is, I think it's like back from earlier days when I bred the pieds that one of the normals or whatever that I mixed in there had either a gene going on in it or its color brought this out. We got to do more breeding trials, but it's genetic. Like the 2 males that I isolated that had this, so now we're getting the offspring popping out.
This is,
from
I mean,
those
for
2 males.
just a regular pied, this is exquisite. This is
Oh,
exquisite. So you think this?
Flagell is a good appetite stimulant.
So you give flagell right after the snake kind of is done breeding?
If it doesn't go back on feed within, you know, a month, he's thin, little thin, and he's valuable. It's a Leopard Pied. He knocked up 10 females.
That's
this
he
year.
did some good work.
He's
Yeah.
a good guy, you know. I gotta
Yeah.
take care of him.
So you're just gonna squirt it right down his throat, huh?
Yeah. He's,
We want to watch you do this.
yeah, let's see if that was 700. So
What's the dose on the flagell?
maybe like a half a cc. I mean, you don't have to be exact on the.
And
just
just giving them a little of this, and they'll just all of a sudden. How long does it usually take before they start feeding again after this?
Usually within a week.
Wow, that's
And,
fast.
and really, you want to do it like once, and then wait about 7 days and do it again, and then.
Is this a common problem that
No,
that
and
snake
actually,
breeders?
I haven't used this in getting an animal to kick in for feeding since last year, and it might be a few males that just don't seem to bounce back right away, and they probably would, but if it's valuable and you start getting nervous about it not taking a meal, it's like, all right, let's just do a little something to change that, and maybe it'll kick it in real quick. Here, you want to drink? A little sip. Drink a little. I know it tastes like shit. It's horrible.
You go right down the throat with it.
Yeah. Look, he'll probably drink a little of that water right
Oh,
away.
that's interesting that they do that. Yeah.
He's like, oh, that tastes horrible.
Pretty cool. Peter Kahl's got a great black blood python here. I know he's just starting to get back into breeding them again. Now they can be a little cantankerous, a little nasty. Let me see if I can pick one up here and not get bit. Look at that head. Oh, really dark black. That's great coloring. That's just a wonderful looking snake. And he's pretty good. Woo. He's a little feisty, this guy. A little. I think I'm going to close up the jar. Pete, explain the difference between these three snakes. So these are awesome. I love leopard.
Yeah.
And I love spider.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Spider.
That's a regular spider.
Yes, sir. And you see how it's got the white on the sides. The body color's a little different.
With the spider web pattern, right?
Right. And then the leopard gene into it. There's no white.
Takes the white out.
Right. And it's a different, like olive
They're
color.
kind of connected to the
And
spider webs.
And the webs change some. And this one here is a leopard spider with the candy.
That's
gene,
just
so-
the candy made it so yellow. It's amazing. Is that? I
Yeah.
mean, just wacky what it did.
Green, like the saddles or the lines now here are almost like green. It's just totally different. But it's hard to tell in the candy if you got the leopard gene. You see how you can see the
Yeah,
color and
it's a
everything
little
in the
different,
look?
but I see you can see the pattern connected. Where the spider doesn't really have the connected pattern. Is that how you can tell?
Yeah, and it's also the color. Like you can see how the color's different here, so the color's different on here. But it's harder to tell in these when you
Right.
get the albinistic form of albinism in there.
Is that from the
to tell.
candy?
Yeah.
So this is a recessive candy, dominant spider, and then dominant leopard.
Yes.
That's amazing. Look at that. That's just an amazing snake. This is a moonglow boa, but it's a melanistic moonglow boa, which is unusual because you don't see the black in it.
Right.
Now, how could you tell?
Because black turns to white in albinistic form. So see how the sides of the tail are
So this
white?
is getting whiter,
right.
and it's losing its
As
yellow.
opposed to yellow, where
Right.
moonglow boas, as they mature, they're not going to turn.
They'll usually get you more yellow, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
But you can see the yellow on the
Right.
top side, but the sides, and that's kind of how.
it's amazing,
If
yeah.
you look at a melanistic ghost,
Right.
okay, which is the non-albinistic form,
Mm-hmm.
the top side of the animal is like a
Dark.
yeah, like a different color. The sides get black.
Show us.
So
you have one of those you can show us?
Yeah, I do actually.
This is
You see
this
the
is the
sides
ghost.
black. Yeah, see how black, and then in here it's kind of got like a brownish color. That one's not as good of an example.
So this is a ghost IMG,
Yeah. Hypoannuary IMG.
hypoannuary
And then
IMG.
And they vary a little
So
bit.
if you just threw the albinism gene in here, you'd get this
Right.
moonglow. It's interesting because the albinism gets rid of the black, but the hypo and the aneurystic gene doesn't.
Annuary's lacking red.
Right. So the black stays there.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's really impressive
Big
actually.
Mama's right here.
She's the IMG, the first
Yeah, the
one?
original
Oh
one.
my God. Look at how
Who
big.
are you in?
Could you take her out?
Yeah, she's cool.
Look at how big she is. How many feet you think she is?
She's big. She looks small in there, but she's big.
No, I could tell she's big, yeah. What does she weigh, you think?
You'd probably be a better judge
Yeah.
of that.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know
This
if she's
is-
pregnant or not.
This is the original IMG, huh?
Yeah, that's Big Mama.
And she is almost completely black. She started out, what color was she when you first got her? Just had a few specks of black on her?
She was just had it like under her head,
move into the
her
light here.
markings were, yeah, she looks better. That light stinks, man. It's popped. I gotta get a new.
I love that they almost get like a rainbowish looking to the when the light reflects off of
She's
them.
pretty mellow. You just don't want to get her up to your face.
No, she's a
She
face
might-
spider?
No, she's not, but you don't want to get bit by her in the face. So I just don't want to see that.
No, I don't want to
happen.
see it happen either.
Yeah,
Like, this has got to be 100 pounds, the snake, at least.
She's strong too.
Yeah.
You can feel her.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Can imagine like having something like that grab up on you.
Yeah.
In a feed response, because she's
Now, what do you do if something like that happens? If she grabs up on you? How do you
the only
get
thing
her
I've
to
had
release?
happen was a boa grab and wrap my arms together,
Right?
and then I just went over the sink and turned on the water and
They let go, usually?
got hot water on it, and it let go, but it took a little bit.
Really?
And man, did it hurt. And
Really?
I've never had that happen again, and that was like 20 years ago.
Really?
It hurt so bad having that feed response, this like bite and the pull, and I was like, I'm never having that happen again, and I'm pretty good at not letting it happen.
What pay dirt here, Pete? You got a crazy litter here of IMG babies.
Yeah. Let's see. Daddy was
Let me get my.
IMG Anuri Posh had albino bred to a T-positive Colombian male. So they're all het T-pos, brother.
Whoa.
There's babies.
She's
underneath
still having
her.
babies.
Yeah.
She's still having them.
Yeah,
That's
they
why.
were hiding underneath her.
Oh.
She's done. Let me get my hook. I'm gonna pull her out. I ain't gonna grab her by hand. I don't even.
I got my little iPhone camera here. I want to stay out of striking distance of her.
You're still in striking distance.
She's not going to leave her babies though, so we're going to get to see Pete actually take this female out and put her in this little tub here.
Try to keep her from smashing into the baby. She's sitting on over there.
Notice I got out of the way very quickly.
Yeah. Don't worry, they're fired up after they have babies.
Yeah.
Usually you give them a nice fat meal and they're happy.
What's the, how many do they normally have per litter?
I've had the biggest litter of boas in the world, man. I
You
guarantee
did? How many?
78 babies.
78 babies?
Double het for striped albino to a double het, no, to an Arabesque albino. And I had
That's a nice payday.
30, like 30 some albino Arabesque.
Wow.
Pos het for striped. Yeah, because
That's
she was
amazing.
double het. Mother, she was big, man, massive snake. Dude, what's going on here?
Yeah, what is this? That's what I was just going to ask you. This is looking pretty wacky.
Something's crazy here. This was to the T-positive.
So this was an IMG.
And I see a lot of IMGs. There's hypo in here too.
What is this though? This is just a wacky looking silverish pattern.
This is weird. Something going on here, buddy.
This is a great end to a great day here in, where are we in Maryland?
We're in Harford County,
Hartford County,
and
Maryland.
the town here is called Bel Air.
Bel Air, sounds fancy. Until the rest stop on the way home, we're going to say good night.